Wow, I like how you all quieted down. You must be expecting good things from me. That would be a misplaced trust. We had a great day yesterday at Fireside Dining up there with the roaring fire and the melting cheese and the fondue chocolate I liked. It was excellent. And then I was a little bit worried about getting down the mountain, so I got in my car and went fast. Well, not fast, but I went early. And I did text John and say, hey, did the buses make it? And he assured me they did, so everybody got back safely. That's good. We have a great day ahead. More snow, 1 to 3 inches. I was just told by our morning breakfast presenter, which is great. It's just enough to keep the slopes good for skiing without like overwhelming us. So I think it'll be a good day. And then today we have après ski at 4 as usual. And tonight we're going down to Main Street in Park City to a series of bars and we'll have some food down there too. It'll be a good night, I think, a good day, good night. I think you'll all enjoy another great day at the Search Insider Summit. So our breakfast sponsor this morning is YieldBot. They've been sponsoring our shows for some years. They have been a cocktail party sponsor, which is good, but you know, drinks are easy. And they decided this year to present to you, and Alex Redmond, Senior Sales Director, is going to talk to you about activating consumer intent to deliver sales. Alex?
Can you hear me? I don't know if this is, no, you can hear me, hear my own voice. I don't even know if the microphone's on. Yeah, you're on. All right, great. Well, good morning. It's nice to have all you guys here, and I'm happy that we're able to provide you with a delicious breakfast here at the Stein Eriksen. We're going to talk to you today about a couple of things that I think are going to be really relevant to a lot of our interests, and some of them maybe not, and just be something that's interesting and interesting information. Clicker, let's see if this works. Test. Click. Right-hand arrow. Great. So today we're going to talk about a couple things. We're going to talk about the new digital mobile shopper, which I think we're all pretty aware of. We're familiar with how mobile is taking over in our space. We're talking about where YieldBot sits in this place and how we understand consumer intent and understanding motivation in order to serve ads that are performance-based in some capacity. We're talking about something that was really interesting that is just kind of fun to talk about, but what we saw on our platform due to the election. And we're going to talk about how some case studies, if you really want to get into it, about how active intent drives performance. Then we can obviously take questions and move on forward from there. This first slide is something that I think we're all familiar with. We're seeing more digital influence year over year from people when they're making shopping and purchase behavior. We're seeing it specifically in mobile. In mobile, we're seeing search catching up to desktop in a way that maybe we all thought was going to happen, but is happening even more significantly now than ever before. It's projected to be in 2020. It's going to be almost right in line with desktop search, pardon me. And what we're also seeing is that this is something that's important to the path of purchase. So as mobile is becoming more ubiquitous, it becomes one of these aspects that's becoming in real time a purchasing behavior decision that's necessary in order to reach your consumer, in order to deliver the right message, to make sure that they're making purchases, to make sure that there's opportunity to influence them when they're making this purchase. And lastly, this quote kind of speaks exactly into why we're into this space. If you're able to deliver a relevant message to the right shopper in the right context, the chances that they're going to take advantage of this opportunity or they're going to leverage this right message is going to be incredibly valuable. So this is where we get the stuff where I'm a bit more familiar with, a bit more comfortable talking about. So YieldBot was built under the premise of if you can understand the consumer's intent in real time, right? We call it active intent. And if you can deliver a message that's relevant to that conversation in real time, then the likelihood of the consumer taking an action is just going to be much greater. So across our platform, we're seeing around 21 billion intent matches across our profile. which allows us to see across desktop and mobile, 60% of which are happening in the mobile space, which we believe is the most important device to be used in affecting the consumer today, as again, they're taking their mobile phones out into the purchase behavior as they're going shopping as well. So what makes us unique? What's very different? Well, we're plugged into about 1,000 premium publishers into their header, which gives us first refusal or first look at inventory in these premium publisher spaces. We're then able to take what we call intent rank, and every action that a consumer is taking as they navigate through our content is informing our platform of the purpose, why they're on that particular page. So every click, every article, everything that's happening is letting us know more and more about that consumer. And in the last piece, we're able to deliver custom creative that is relevant to that conversation, relevant to that experience in real time. This is all done without cookies. This is all done through a hard-coded integration within our premium publishers. We actually are one of the first, if not the only company, that has an analytics tag that speaks directly to an ad server. And we're seeing 1 trillion real-time decisions each month. So if you have the opportunity to identify your hand raiser and have a conversation with them, why wouldn't you take it? These real-time decisions are predicated upon about 77 inferences of intent across our platform, and they go down into everything from referral source, data that we're seeing from the browsers, we're seeing from location, time of day, device type, et cetera. And these are all informing our platform into who the consumer is and why they're there in real time in order to serve an ad that is relevant to that experience. So this is something that we wanted to pull together just to kind of illustrate what we saw during the election. There was, I believe, we can all agree, a massive amount of misinformation that was put forward to us as far as expectations of how maybe this election might go. And a lot of it stems from what we've been calling the echo chamber, right? When you get into these locked-in walled gardens such as Facebook, where they're putting out tons and tons of pieces of content that are being consumed by the media that might not reflect by the people that are within your own friend list. It might not necessarily be reflective of exactly what's happening within the community today. So what we saw across our platform is that actually 94% of higher visitor intent was with Donald Trump over Hillary Clinton. Trump also had 2 times the amount of related content. Now, whether we want to consider this as false narratives or basically inaccurate content, nonetheless, it was being consumed at a rate much greater than anything positive towards Hillary Clinton. And here's the top intent associations. You're Putin and Rally, but yet emails and Sidney Blumenthal were much greater. Now, whether this is disseminated from, again, fake news, as we've learned about, or whatever it may be, this is what people were consuming throughout the online space. And then you get to general sentiment. So Clinton actually had a negative general sentiment almost twice as much more than Donald Trump. So now, while we're not saying that this is a predictive technology and that we can determine exactly what people are going to do and what you're going to see, there is something to be said that's representative once we get outside of the echo chamber of Facebook and the other aspects of our social media platforms in order to identify really the raw insights of what we see from consumers and understanding that the intent of the consumer is that much more valuable than maybe what we are reading within our own, again, echo chamber. And then this is lastly a couple of case studies that we've done just to kind of illustrate where we've worked in this space and had a ton of success. In the retail space, we've worked with companies like Staples, worked with companies like Brooks Brothers, worked with companies like Home Depot, actually, where we're able to identify consumers and deliver messages that are relevant to the consumer based upon what we're seeing as the consumer navigates through our content. So this is an e-commerce case study with back to school, and we're able to return on ad spend 2 times what the client was looking for. And lastly, this is something that maybe you guys have read, but it's something that we're really proud about. We have actually partnerships with IRI within the retail space, where with Heineken, we're actually able to deliver a 4.3% sales increase and a 3 times the industry click-through rate within our marketplace, within the industry, to deliver more ads and also offline sales for our partners. So this is a brief overview, a general understanding. At the end of the day, our entire premise is predicated upon the fact that if you can understand the consumer in real time and you can deliver them an ad that's relevant to that exact experience, the likelihood of them taking an action is always going to be much greater. That's it. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Wow. Alex,